I shall reign triumphant.
Buenos dias, children.
So.
No!
Hell, you're all gonna be doing that.
Welcome back to Villain Review episode 96, and today we got The Winter Soldier from Captain America, The Winter Soldier. For those who ain't know, The Winter Soldier came out in 2014 and was directed by the brothers Russo and stars Chris Evans, Bam, Sebastian Stan, and Abed Nadir. The movie is sicker than Thrax, but how good of a villain is Bucky Boy? Let's find out.
Procedure has already started.
Born on March 10th, robbed of an Oscar, James Barnes started his life in a pretty normal way with his childhood best friend Steve Rogers. Together, Steve would say, "I can do this all day," and James would say, "Hey, stop beating up my ramen-looking best friend." With James eventually being drafted to fight in World War II, and Steve eventually becoming, well, you know, Captain America, the two would fight the Nazi subdivision of Hydra, led by the world's worst sunburn. Eventually on the job, however, James would fall off of a moving train, resulting in Steve and everyone else in the world assuming him to be dead, or so they thought. With his still alive body being discovered by this dick in a box, James would be brainwashed and tortured until he eventually became the Winter Soldier, a brainwashed super soldier who hates the word freight car for some reason. I think that by the time we see him in the Winter Soldier film, the character already has a lot going for him. Unlike some villains who have to cram backstory into a flashback or, I don't know, some weird junk like that, we get all of Bucky's origin in the first Captain America film. From there, we learn what kind of person Bucky is and what kind of person he was and what kind of relationships he has with all his homies. The whole villain type of being a relentless murder machine is kind of high risk, high reward. Like, you could play it really smart and be intimidating and methodical like the T-1000, right? Or you could play it really stupid and be like a mess like, well, also like the T-1000, but this one. If when the Winter Soldier takes off his mask, it was some Joe Schmo, the villain's trash. But because he's Bucky, he's actually a pretty cool villain. I love the fact that the Winter Soldier is a character who seemingly can't be stopped, both physically and because Steve doesn't want to fight his best friend. The setup and payoff of Bucky in the MCU is honestly the best part of the character. We know who Bucky is, so it adds to the whole mystery. It makes his origin and motive more interesting. So before I get into the actual personality for the Winter Soldier, I need to preface that this isn't Hero Review Bucky Barnes, it's Villain Review The Winter Soldier. So I'm only counting his time as the Winter Soldier because he and Bucky are both very different characters. So as we've established, the Winter Soldier is the type of villain who walks around all intimidating like, shooting nades, and predicting 2020 fashion. For the first half of the movie, we don't really know Winter Boy is Bucky Boy, so for the first half of this movie, I still think the soldier does a good job of being intimidating. Obviously, when he catches the shield, it does a great job of showing us that he's not like the other girls. And I give credit to Sebastian Stan for doing a lot of this performance with just his eyes. Once we discover Winter Boy is Bucky Boy, he just gets better. It's really cool to see him fight the conflict that starts to rise in him in that third act, and again, a lot of it goes to Sebastian Stan. This might be a hot take, but this is the best the character is in the entire MCU. First Avenger, Civil War, his own freaking show. In my opinion, this is the high point of this character and Sebastian Stan's performance in the role. So the cool thing about the Winter Soldier is we have scenes that make you go, damn, that is badass. And then you also got scenes where you go, damn, that is sad ass. Starting off with the combat scenes, the standout one is that first big fight between the Soldier and his squad and Cap and his squad. We get our actual first fight between the Winter Soldier and Cap, and it is absolutely great. The whole like knife, like he's flipping around like, I don't know, something you flip around is super cool, and the entire fight is just really entertaining. When we get that big reveal of who the fuck he is Bucky, it's an awesome reveal and it sets up the entire third act of the movie. The other scene I think is important is this one right here, where the soldier is reflecting on that mission I was just talking about. The scene is very important because it makes us feel bad not only for Bucky, but for the soldier himself. We learn that the soldier is just following orders and that he's just as much a victim of Hydra as anyone else. By showing that he's constantly having to be reset in order to function is pretty dang sad. So for the whole end of the movie, we actually feel bad for the soldier beyond just him being Bucky and, oh no, he's Cap's friend. I really enjoy that about the character. Bucky Soldier Boy does some pretty naughty things throughout this movie, starting off with blowing up Nick Fury's car, and then like, oh, if that's not enough, he's also gonna shoot him when he's just vibing in the apartment with Cap. He just pop, he just shoots him. Also, if this moment right here did not make you pee a little, you are clearly not invested in these movies. Also, do people not forget he literally just grabs this guy and just tosses him out of the car into moving traffic? Because what the fuck, man? I like how as intimidating and formidable as the soldier is, he's not comically overpowerful. Like, I like that Black Widow does get the jump on him here. I enjoy that. The soldier also forgets his own name, which is very rude, and he kills Tony Stark's parents. Not my boy Howard and his wife, whose name I don't know, but come on, I mean, you don't know it either. All the killing in general makes the Winter Soldier more than evil enough to be a good villain, like he has to be stopped, but it's way more complicated than that because Cap just can't pull up and give him the old 1-2, right? Right in the kisser, right? Because, you know, they're best friends. Because we spend some time with Bucky in the first Captain America movie, the Winter Soldier is all the more interesting when we get that reveal in the second film. He's a great example of that relentless type of villain, and Sebastian Stan is really good with this role. He's got some really cool scenes that both make us afraid of him and feel bad for him, and he does plenty of evil to make us root for his downfall. I'm gonna give the Winter Soldier an 8. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know what you think of the Winter Soldier down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, listen, hear me out. Maybe consider subscribing. I make a new villain review every single Monday. Thanks for watching. Leave your suggestions down in the comments, and I'll see you next time.